Hi everybody! How's it going? I've been away for 2 weeks, and most of you probably forget about me. Nah, just kidding. Hi, welcome to one of my other random live stream. This is where I usually work at night, so could be boring, could be not ready, as my mic isn't not really set up right now. Got that XLR here. You know what? I'm just gonna let it hang here. I've got to get ready. What's up? I don't know if anybody's gonna join. Usually, most of the people watching my stream are in Europe, and right now in Europe it's 5:30 in the morning, so I don't expect much. But for you, my North American friends, I'm opening up at 11:30 at night. For me, a Gatorade. Usually I drink a beer, but I got to work. I need to be precise, need to be sharp. Gatorade it is. Anyway, you can see, no, don't adjust your camera or don't adjust your TV. I got some sun because I spent 2 weeks pretty much outside. So, hydration, Gatorade, good. I don't really like purple, but that's what I had cold, so. Let me explain you what we're gonna do today. And I'm gonna try to stop to do all the time. Sorry. I got here my box with some Cat5 cable. Oh, you can see it on the side of the box here. Cat5, Cat5e, STP, FTP, 24 gauge outdoor. Outdoor is for black. I'm gonna put that on the ground. Because you don't really need to see the box. And I need to build myself some Cat5 for tomorrow. I need 200 footer. I have a pre-cut one of 100 feet. And maybe I got a second one. Yeah. Great. So I got 2 cable in stock. I have Nutric connector. Those are just the XLR sleeve. It's just really like an XLR connector, but the connector I bought them in. I bought them somewhere else, cheaper. Not because the connector itself is cheaper, but they just cost less to buy from somebody else in Nutric. These are. I don't know how well you can see this. Let's see if the GoPro can focus on that. Oh yeah, you can pretty much see it. So it's just a pass-through Cat5e, which is the simplest way to do Cat5e, I believe. Metal shielding because we're using shielded cable. I'm not gonna solder them today, but I will in the future. I just don't have my soldering rig ready. I just came back from vacation. Like I literally was just landed here like 4 hours ago. Unpack my stuff, get my stuff ready upstairs with my X32, which I will be using tomorrow for my monitor rig. My front of house will be the wing right there, and I'm gonna set up that after. We're gonna do a quick look on the wing, and we're gonna learn together if I did my thing right, and if my camera on the wing is working. Yeah, it's working. Okay, good. I'm using it for live streaming right now. It's working, but it's not in focus. I'm gonna figure that out later. When I'm doing like those random stream, I'm not ready. I'm just doing something that I believe would interest some people, and I turn the camera on. So that's what you get. That's the content that you sign up for when you subscribe to this channel. Okay, without any waiting, I need to get this ready. I need that for tomorrow because the company who provide me the PA tomorrow don't know if he has Cat5 ESTP cable, so I asked the guy if he would guarantee my if he would pay me another console or repair my console if something ever happened and break or static break my AES50 card, and he said no. He said bring your own cable, so need to build one. I get it. Cat5e is a new standard for the industry. And the kind of guy that I'm going to work with tomorrow, just buy whatever is the cheapest cable that's going to work. So my guess is he just bought the cheapest Cat5. Maybe not even Cat5e, maybe Cat5 he could put his hands on and call it a day. So I'm going to bring my own. It's going to work. It's going to work in my console will be safe, and it's gonna work. But I'm building those cable with the goal in mind to never use them. Every time I bring my snake in a festival, it's never usually a good sign. So, gotta move the camera for you, so at least you can see what I'm doing. Not like the other time that I was doing cable. Cat5 tester, RJ45 cable tester. It's gonna work fine for me. We're doing like regular Cat5e, so no special here. The speed, I don't need to test the speed. I don't need to test anything special. Cat5e, as long as it works, should be fine for me. And if I fail to make 2 cable, shame on me. Anyway, the tool I'm gonna use, this crimper for the Cat5 that I'm going to show you how to use. And because I don't have the right crimper for the pass-through cable, I'm going to use a X-Acto knife here to cut the end of my cable for the pass-through. And I'm going to show you once I've done one, everything should be fine. To strip the sleeve on the Cat5e, I like to use my Letterman. This blade is just dull enough that if I push on it, just enough, I know where the sweet spot is to cut just the sleeve. So I know my tool. It's basically not the best way to do it. You need to have, those little plastic thing that just roll around with the blade, the right thickness, but I don't have any of those. So as long as I don't break it when I'm building it, should be good. First thing first. Hold on, guys. Sleeve for the cable. I can probably do this. You guys gonna see my mess on my desk. Just gonna act like I didn't forget to bring back that mug. Just gonna, yeah. Okay. So, sleeve on. Because we're using pass-through cable, I'm gonna cut the sleeve on the Cat5e just a little longer, so that will give me some playroom to cut my cable. I'm gonna use this as a measuring gauge, so it's not rocket science here. I'm gonna go average there, and I'm using one of the sweet spot on my knife just to cut the plastic sleeve, nothing else. I prefer to do it 2 times than go too far. And as you can see, as soon as I crack it, I didn't cut through the sleeve. I just scored it and cracked it. So that way I know I didn't went through and cut the wire inside. So yeah, clean break here. The foil, usually there's I can show you guys. I can show you guys this. Inside here, there is a foil of aluminum. I don't know. I'm French Canadian, so I've learned English. Not in Canada, so aluminum, whatever. This is foil, basically. It's a piece of metal that is wrapped around the whole cable. The whole bundle has this inside of it. This is just plastic. I need a garbage. Hold on. So, plastic sleeve around the cable, the same one that goes there. Inside of it, there is that foil of probably aluminum with plastic seams over it. And inside, I got my ground wire here that we're going to put to the side for now. And I got plastic that we're going to cut away. And oh, I must be careful. This is a brand new blade, pretty sharp. And here we have the pair. So we're going to do standard Cat5. Is it the 566B diagram? I'm gonna look on the internet because I don't do I do enough Cat5 to know what I'm doing when building the cable, but I don't do enough so I can remember the order correctly every time. And I also last time I did RJ45 cable, I did Cat6 for my computer and my my NAS, my network attached storage. So I needed Cat6 because I want the 10 gig connection. And it's not the same. Well, the standard would work, but do not recommend to use the same pattern or the same color code in the cables. So I'm gonna do this for now. I'm gonna untwist my cable first. And this is the thing that I hate the most. It's so hard on your finger to like bend these cable and flat them out so they will go through in the right order on your connector. I prefer to do XLR way more than doing RJ45. So almost done here, and I'm gonna grab my phone. Oh, mail. I got mail. So Cat5e color wiring. This is the T568B schematic. This is what I'm going to use. Just Googled that, and it confirms me that that's the wiring that I'm using on all my cable. So all my cables are made the same, and the order matter. I remember somebody somewhere posted, oh, you know, it doesn't matter as long as you have all the cables the same. And no, it's not true. The first time that I've built a snake for a X32, it was the first time I ever built Cat5. And I did like the order without, basically what this diagram do is it's swapping out the pair inside the cable. You can see it goes from green Sorry guys, I'm back. Well, I think I'm back. You got the sound. And you got the image back. Hold on. Yeah, that camera was full. I don't know what happened here. Strange glitch. Okay, we're back. So I still hold in my hand my cat cable. And I don't know if you saw that. I don't know what happened there, but I've just placed the cable in the right order. In this order, especially. Looking at the top of the connector. So, I got my cable here. And to make my life easy, using pass-through connector, I'm gonna cut here. Just a little bit of cable, but I want them to be really straight. And I'm gonna slide that connector through here. Do I have all my cables? As you can see, they pass through. And that allowed me to do a couple things. First, I can check the order of my cable, make sure that I got it right, because it will matter. And when you do RJ45 cable, the closer you can get the connector to the twist at each end will make the cable better. Will make it better conduct. It will make basically the cable work better. Having a small amount won't break it, but you want your connector to be the closest possible to that. Oh man, my GoPro just keep dying on me. Hold on. What's happening here? Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to know what's up. Why are you not working? Battery's full. I don't know, it just timed out. So maybe there's I need to check the parameter of that thing. I'm gonna guess that I have like just a small if the function to have a small amount of time then is just shut up if it's not used. So I don't know. Everything tells me so far that it should be working. I have no idea why it stopped. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to put you guys back in. And if it's too much of a problem, I'm gonna find a solution. But let's go back to this. Okay, I'm back. And I need to tilt you guys down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with my hand. Okay, so, like I was saying, after an internet drop and a GoPro dying on me, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna crimp that cable. First, I want to double check my order. So I'm gonna put my phone in front of me, and here I have white and orange, green, blue, white and blue, green, and the 2 browns. That's good. If I ever did a mistake with the pass-through connector, I can see it really clearly. I could take the connector out, replace the wire, and just call it a day, you know. And not call it a day, sorry. Sometimes I speak and I just don't think about what I'm gonna say. So, and English is my second language. We don't speak it. I don't speak with people here in English, so I can just take the connector here out and replace the cable and put it back in. So my connection seems good so far. The order is good. I still have my ground wire that I'm gonna leave here behind the connector. I will eventually solder it to the connector here, to the metal shielding here, but for today I don't want to get the soldering iron out for that, and I should be fine with having it just touching inside the connector. Before crimping the cable, I'm gonna double check that I have my XLR shoe, I think it's called, the back of my XLR connector, and I'm gonna grab my crimper. Being left-handed is a problem here because it's backward for me. Okay. Inside these crimper, you need to slide the connector in like that. I'm gonna push on it just so I can have it really tight next to the connection, next to the twist inside the cable. I basically want my connector to be as close as possible to the rest of the cable. I want as less untwisted cable as I can. So now everything seems good. I'm just gonna push that down. I'm gonna make sure that everything is good. I like to just put the connector back a little bit and push it in, and that's it. If I had the other pair of crimper for pass-through cable, when you crimp it down, it in a single action, it's crimped down and it's cutting the extra wire. Because I don't have the good one, I'm gonna use an X-Acto knife and go as close as I can to the top of the connector, and I'm gonna cut it out. It's not the perfect way to do it. But it's gonna work. I'm gonna take some time and just cut it. With the X-Acto knife. I'm gonna try not to cut myself on the live stream, but there we go. I had one of the small RJ45 that didn't cut, and I'm gonna try to show you guys as close as I can to the camera and being in focus. But I just crimped that cable tight and I cut the ends. Probably can't see that really well, but if I show it to you in that angle, you can see a little bit of plastic hanging out, but that's just a sleeve around. That's just a colored sleeve around the cable. Oh, maybe this one. Okay, so I'm gonna make it really clean. But yeah, everything is good. And I want to check a theory. Somebody told me once that on cheap Cat5, they are using aluminum cable, aluminum core, and they add extra copper on it. They just put a sleeve of copper on it. And judging by the color of the end here, that could be true. That could be aluminum cable with copper around it. I'm gonna try to skin. I cannot skin that, but I need to scrap like a foot of cable and just skin it and try to see how is it inside. Okay, and that's gonna be for another time, but we need to do that cable. So to finish it, I need that part, which is the rest of the nitric connector. I'm gonna wrap around my shield cable just so it make contacts, but again, like I said, eventually it will get solder on. That is good. I can see it's making contact, and I'm gonna you know what? I'm not gonna put that on for now. This okay, just for fun, for the exercise, I'm gonna close that connector, but I'm not gonna tight it because hold on. Oh no, on these you need to put this part first. And yeah, it's gonna grab to the connector here. And I think I need to put the pin behind it. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. I think, oh yeah, this is it. And there's a groove here on top that slide into the connector. So it all sits together nicely, and it cannot turn inside of it. So good job, Nitric. You guys doing the best connector on the market, period. There is like no competition at all. Nobody can beat Nitric. Okay, so this is how I would terminate it. But for now, I'm gonna do the other one a little bit faster. And I'm gonna test it before I put the connector on. So that one's ready. Gotta do the same thing here. About that. Having the right tool for the job. With my Letterman. Not this blade, this one. And I want to go something like this. No, not far enough. There we go. Just cracked it. Sleeve with the foil in the garbage. I want my sleeve here. Not my sleeve, my ground wire. Untwist the blue. The blue and green are easier because the twist is less. They have less twists per inches than the other two colors. And I don't know if anybody who's knows something about Cat5 can tell me. I think the brown wire in a internet situation is just for PoE. It's power over Ethernet cable. I think you don't need them to have network. If you want your network to work, you only need 6 cable of the Cat5. Okay, phone again. Pairing. Orange, green. Orange, green, blues. The 2 blue and that should be good. Got all my cable together. Sorry if I'm filming my finger. That's gonna be flat. RJ45 connector. And I got it into the pass-through. Let's check the order. Orange. The 2 orange, white and green, blue, blue, white and blue, green. Yeah, that's good. We got one. And forget the back of the connector. Wow. That one went quick. And I'm gonna try to not lose my order here. I think I did. Okay. Well, I need to replace them because I need to get them on this thing right here. Okay. I saved it. This is why I love pass-through connector. And oh, it stayed together. We gotta try again. Put it in there. There we go. So orange, white, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, and the 2 brown. That's good. Ready to crimp. Stupid right-handed stuff. I don't know if they ever made a lefty one. But here we go. Crimp that in. I like to push it down hard, but I don't know if you really need to. And X-Acto cable. X-Acto knife. Cutting the cable. If I do them one at a time, probably will be easier. There we go. Clean cut. I may just do a small X-Acto double check because I'm doing this cable for myself, so I can make it clean. I like my stuff to be good, in good condition, working and clean. There we go. That's really clean. Okay. tester time. I could split that if I ever need to test a long run from each side. But here, I want to go side by side and watch that I'm having a one-to-one connection, because this tester doesn't tell you if you made a good cable. It's just tell you the order, testing them one by one. So you still need to know what you're doing. So I got my ground wire touching the metal sleeve here because this cable is also test ground wire, and I'm gonna turn it on and we will see together if I made a good job. So far, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and my ground light goes on. So yeah, we got a good cable here, or at least it will give you continuity. Doesn't mean speed-wise it's a good cable if you are running Ethernet stuff. Need this one. I need the pin inside, or not. No, the pin doesn't go inside. Or maybe. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. This and this. Tighten it down. There we go. That's one. Maybe it will need some adjustment. What I like to do. What I like to do the adjustment is plug it into a console or something that has a heater-con female, loosen the connector, plug it in, and tighten it back in once it's in place. I usually get better result that way. It's probably gonna work like this, but to get better result, if you just build it into, or if you just tighten it into a female connector, that's gonna work. Okay. This. Not ideal for my ground connection, but this is temporary. I will fix it. And also I'm making sure that my sleeve, my ground cable touching the Ethercon. So in theory, it will be good, but because it's not solder, it will move at some point because nothing holding it back or holding it in place, touching the ground. So I will eventually solder it, just so I know 100% of the time it will touch, no matter what happened. Why this one doesn't want to get straight in? This one's giving me a hard time. There we go. I got it right. One down. Ready for tomorrow. Gotta put it on the console. I don't know if there is an official way to test out Cat5e cable, But everything I've moved. Sorry, guys. I don't know if there's an official way to test these cable, but what I usually do is, like on the wing, I plug B into C and check that I got sync. Usually, if it worked there, I'm gonna guess it's gonna work on with a stage box. Don't forget it this time. In there. Oh yeah. I only have like a small crack of foil there. So maybe this one I didn't even crack the foil. Okay, now. I don't like to wiggle around too much with it. Come on. This is usually when I go too far. I go one time, go like, okay, good, I got it. And no, and again, no, and okay, I finally got it. Garbage can under. I don't need this plastic thing. And let's untwist these. I hate that so much. Edwin, sorry, Edwin. Yeah, it's easy. It's like everything. I mean, it gives you a hard time until you know what you're doing. And once you know something, it's easy. But yeah, the learning curve with Cat5e is a little harder than XLR. Have you ever built your own, well, probably not if you're asking, but have you ever done some cabling works? Edwin? This is the thing that I hate the most. Nah, it's a little harder than XLR. Because it's, I'm gonna show you. You probably didn't watch the beginning of the stream, but you need to untwist the pair like I'm doing right now, and you need to straighten them out like this. And I will need to place them in the right order, because if you don't, your cable's not gonna work. And depending on the standard that you're using, like Cat5e, here I'm using the T568B diagram. So it's, you need to know a lot of things. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, the first time that I made Cat5, I put them in order. I didn't cross the pair, because you can see on the diagram here, this is what I'm using. It goes like orange, and you split out the green pair to go on the outside, and the blue pair on the inside, and on the other end, the brown. I didn't do that the first time. I just go like, oh, okay, so it's like a white and a color, white and a color, white and a color. And it did not work the first time. I thought my cable was too long, my console was not good, so I've learned after a while that you need to cross the pair, and there's many ways to cross the pair. I think some is a Cat5, is a Cat6 that you start. It's the other way around. It probably doesn't matter. Well, I don't know. I'm not an IT guy. I just know that if you follow that standard, the console's gonna like it, and if you ever use that cable for Ethernet, it's gonna like it. So I tried to go with that standard. If it worked, and I don't understand why it wouldn't, I'm just gonna not play around with it. Or not try to be creative there. Once I know why, this is when I get creative, and this is where things gets funny, you know? Let me get that straight. Okay, so green, blue, white and blue, green, brown, white, brown, brown. Okay. And I'm gonna straight it again. This is why I prefer XLR, because now I just untwist the cable and I need to straighten them out, and I'm gonna need to cut them to get them through the connector. I got a garbage can under me to do that, to take the loose part so I don't end up like this. Okay, pass-through connector. If you ever, Edwin, if you ever try to do Cat5, buy pass-through connector. They are so much easier on you than I tried the first time. Actually, I have some here. First time I got a really good deal, like dirt cheap deal on non-pass-through connector. And you need to do basically the same thing that I'm doing now. You need to get them straight aligned, but they don't go through. So you need to cut them roughly at the right length and have them in the right order and crimp and hope that every cable reach the end of the connector at the same point and it's good. So it's fine. I've done enough. So I'm getting okay at it. But man, those pass-through connector are way easier. I just like pass it through, double check my color coding. That's what I'm doing right now. Color coding good. And like 5 minutes ago, I forget to put the sleeves on. On this one, I don't need to hold it. I can just like take it off, put it back on. Before I crimp it, I can do whatever. And double checking your order is important, and also it will probably give me a better connection and a better cable speed wise, because it's passed through. I can really pull on it and like put it as far down as I can, the connector on the cable itself. So that will make a better cable. So pass-through connector all the way, man. And if you're getting pass-through connector, get pass-through crimper, because I didn't. I have the one for the non-pass-through, which work fine for crimping, but the one with pass-through, they cut out the extra cable in a single action. You don't need to risk to cut yourself like I'm doing with an X-Acto knife here. So ugh. I'm so afraid to cut myself. insert your emo joke here. Thanks for the advice. Oh, you're welcome, man. So I'm gonna guess you probably done some XLR cable. If you District TRS, okay. Sorry, I asked you that. District XLR, TRS, TS, yeah. Those are the fun one. I like to do TRS cables. Most people don't, but I like to do them. I like to do cabling. Tomorrow in my vlog, you will see the kit that I'm using with Simon Morin, an artist that I've been working pretty much full time for the last 10 years. And I built him a kit cable wise, so we just go anywhere. We have 4 loon, one for each musician that has his microphone, his instrument, and vocal mic in inner, all in a single. I use small gauge XLR, so it's maybe 2 times the size of a Cat5e cable. I run that to the front of the stage, one to each musician, plug them in, XLR cable on each end, and it takes me like 20 minutes to set up, 27 input, plus backtrack over USB. And we can basically don't do a sound check because of that. Because I'm always bringing my microphone, my cable, we can step on the stage in 20 minutes, no sound check, start a show, and be out in 20 minutes. So for me, it was a big time saver. Cost wise and build wise, it was hard. It cost me a couple $100, and I did cable for a good 24 hours straight, like in 2 days. I'm crazy, but not that much. But yeah, it was a rough 2 days of cabling, but I've won so much time in my life, load in, load out with these. It's worth it to me. It's worth it to me. And I know, and yeah, a long time for cabling. But you know, I had to solder, I think is it 48 XLR total? It's 27 input, and everybody has a stereo mix on their feet. So that's 10 more line, five musician times 2 XLR. That's 10 more. So that's 37 input plus whatever I have in the rack for wireless and in the rack itself. And I'm also having a pair for my main out that I can just hand out to the local crew when we're like really going, okay, quick, here's my main out, just plug that in, turn that on into the PA, and we got a show going. So I got a stereo pair for that. So that's like, yeah, a lot of time, a lot of cable, a lot of time. But again, I did that once in 2018. Only had one cable go bad that I need to fix, and I'm not gonna fix it today. I'm gonna fix it after tomorrow's gig because my usual drummer is not gonna get there, and he's singing, but the guy who replacing him will not. So I don't need his vocal mic. So I'm good. And that's the only bad cable that I had since 2018. Well, have you here, Hedwin? How did you discover me? Are you a wing user? Because I will do that in a couple minutes as soon as I'm done with this. I was about to forget. Because I know some people follow me even if they don't have wing, and that's weird to me. But, I mean, if you like it, sure. Oh, you're a wing user. Nice. How do you like it? Anything that you like? Anything that you don't like about the wing? To me, the wing is like the perfect console for the budget. I mean, there is better option out there, but you need to add the zero at the end of the price tag, and that's a lot. That's a lot of money. But yeah, for the price, the wing is the perfect option. This is something that I can carry around. Actually, if you want to laugh, tomorrow I'm gonna put on tape how I put this console with a DL251 X32 core and all my cabling and mic stand and mic case in the back of my smart car. Everything is custom built, well, or at least built for me to do so. I like everything about it, but the need for stage box is pretty annoying for small gig. Yeah, I feel you. I had to do a couple live stream last winter with it, and somebody asked me 9 input, and I was like, oh, really? I don't want to bring a stage box just for like 1 extra input, because the 8 in the backs are fine. And I just end up using the a wireless mic instead of a wire, and use the line out of the wireless into the line in of the console and call it a day. Maybe I had a little bit more noise using the line into line. Well, maybe not. But, well, when I was cranking the gain, because I gave it a little bit of gain. Well, trim, not gain. But honestly, yeah, I would just, if possible, yeah, more input. But I don't want, this is the thing. I want more input, but I don't want the footprint to be bigger. So what do? You bring an X32 rack? But no, you want the feature of the wing, and you want a console. Because I'm getting tired of mixing with an iPad. It's fine. In a situation where you don't have a lot of space, it's fine. But as much as possible now, I want to bring a console, because it looks better. And I'm lucky that my main artist is getting more public recognition here. So I want to make him look good. I want me to look like as a pro. I don't want to look like I don't know how to say it in English, but a jobber guy, like the guy, you know. I don't want to look too homemade, but I want something that is small, fast, quick, out of the way, in a festival situation, or like when, I don't want that to happen again, but when sometimes we had truck breakdown on the road and we needed to not do sound check, just being late to the gig, arrive like when the opening act was playing, just drop on stage and go. And put everything back in the truck is that fast and leave for another gig that the other night. So the other day after, well, sorry, don't speak English anymore. Yeah, I like the wing because of the wing, the plug-in and the screen, and no extra track and no extra rack and stuff. Man, this thing, I don't know where you come from. Well, I mean physically, but if you ever mix on analog console, I was lucky enough that I mixed like in the last days of live analog console. And man, the amount of rack gear that I first want and didn't have, and the amount that we bring was crazy. I remember the first conversation that I had with my boss when I told him to buy an M7CL back then. We're talking about 2008, 2009. And I say, do you know that in the M7CL, I have about a full 20-footer truck worth of rack gear inside the console? And we start to count out, the amount of compressor. You have M7CL was 48 input. Oh, damn. Just dropped my connector in the garbage. M7CL was 48 input, so 48 compressor, 48 gate, 8 effects rack, double. Some of them were double. 31 band EQ. You had 16 31 band EQ. All of that, when you take that in consideration and imagine that physically in the rack, that was like not fitting in a truck. I missed that one. So, yeah. The amount of option that we have now for live is crazy. Because in studio, for some of you who are watching this after, and our studio guys, in studio, you can always record a track, take the time to tweak a compressor and record it with the compressor and put it in your DAW and reuse the same compressor for something else. Live, you need to have like the amount of everything. You cannot use the same compressor twice. Okay. I'm about to get this. I'm gonna get this one. This one's giving me a hard time. This is the last one. Put my sleeve on. And I'm gonna try this. Do I got it right? This is why I like the pass through. Do I got it right? 2 orange, green, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, and the 2 browns are backward. Damn it. I need to swap them and redo that again. And now there's a kink in that one. This is why I prefer to do XLR. You're doing a lot of church venues. You said, for those of you watching without the chat, Edwin said, it's convenient for my church venue. So what kind of church are you doing? Because to me, and I'm probably repeating myself here for those of you who watch regularly, but to me, having shows in church is not something happening around me. Here in Canada, we don't have that happening. So I'm always impressed by the amount of people doing shows in church. So what kind of church are you doing? I mean, not the type of religion practiced there, but I mean, what kind evangelical in the U.S., but how big are they? Are you doing the big ones? Because I saw some pretty, like, huge church stuff. And I'm all for that. I mean, it's a party. It's better than what we have here. But I don't want to get into religion. Tell me about the technical side of your stuff. 100 and 200? Yeah, it's great. This is like mid-sized venue. If you can do that every Sundays, it's fun. It's the kind of side of venue that you start to have fun. You know, mixing for 30 person in a small room is meh after a while. But 100, 200, if you got a decent size room with a PA, you can start to have a lot of fun. I'm gonna finish this one. So in the States, are you more in the South? Are you more... I'm all the way up in Canada. Actually, I'm all the way up in Quebec. If you don't know, this is just... I'm 45 minutes away from the state of New York in the north. Like, once you're upstate New York, north, the 95, Highway 95 that end up there, I'm all the way there. So east, okay, east. So we're not that far. If I compare to the people watching me in Australia and Europe, I'm so surprised by the amount of people watching this channel in Europe. I didn't, because I live in North America, I try as much as I can to know what's around me, like Europe, but it's because I've never been there yet. I know it's somewhere on the map, but never been there, never set a foot in Europe. It's hard for me to understand how big it is, how people live there, people watching. So the States, I did travel the States a little bit. Not for business, well, for my personal stuff. I got some family in Florida that go there in the winter. Just gotta put it that way. And I did visit some city there. I did visit Nashville, Memphis, all the cool stuff that I need to go back there. So probably this winter, I'm probably gonna head down in the States when the winter is gonna be too cold here, like in January. We're being that high. It's not even that high up north, but being that high up north, we easily have temperature going as far down as -20. -20 is the same in Celsius and Fahrenheit, by the way. So, yeah, -20 is cold for being outside. So if I can go in the States where it's like to the freezing point, I'm fine with that. Sorry, I want to make this connection right. Oh, I need to test it. What am I doing? Try to put the connector on. I need to test it. And you need to laugh if I didn't make it right, because I did this one like 2 times. Okay, we gotta check what's happening here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, forget about the grounding. Need to make them touch the connector. But the ground is good. Okay. We're gonna close this one. I'm gonna make sure that the shield ground wire is touching at least some part of metal, and that should be good. We should have good enough cable for tomorrow for my gig, because the company cannot supply what I need. So, Headwind, what kind of PA do you usually have? Are you only having like 2 small bucks per side, or do you have a small line array? Because 200 people can sometime justify small line array, just to help concentrate the energy into the crowd and not everywhere, like a single box on a stand usually do. Ugh. They are so hard on your hand. These connector. Well, actually everything Cat5. It's so hard on your hand. Ugh. Okay, let's call it good. This one. Each side. I think you're missing a word there. Just gonna get that. Let me also ask you, when you say that you're doing church, are you like touring church? Is that a thing? Or, because I thought everybody who was playing in a church was playing the same church every Sundays. You know, you play your local stuff and that's it. If it's not a big event, like I saw those big preacher event. So tell me, is it the same? Is it the same venue or venues? No local. Nice. Okay, I got this done. Tested. Good enough for tomorrow. Those are not ideal for multiple use. Especially that type of cable is not made to be coil and recoil 100 times, but it's gonna be good for tomorrow. And I need to buy like a real snake with how does it call? Is it braided? Basically, it's like Cat5e, but with multiple cable inside each color, so that way it's made to be moved and it's not breaking as easily as this one. But for tomorrow, with two of them, that should be good. Okay. But Ben is playing in a venue. Hold on. I can get my face in front of that. There we go. But Ben is playing in a venue this Saturday, so it's going to be fun with X32 over there. Yeah, it's honestly, I want your opinion on that. I've been going back and forth mixing X32 for some artists because that's what I had and whatever. Going back and forth, Wing, X32, I feel I get the same feeling from both console, kinda, or at least I can get where I want. But Wing has way more horsepower behind the hood. Speaking of, let's go there. Give me a sec. I need to fix a camera. Come on. close enough for today. That way you can see what I'm doing. Welcome back to setup number 2. This is what it's like. This is what it's like to be a one-man show. Yeah, X32 is fine. It's aging really well. I was expecting way more problem with them. Hold on. Let me get my camera in an angle that makes sense. And the mic. Okay, good. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I need to recall a scene. First thing I'm gonna do here is recall safe that channel, so my talkback is not gonna move, and I'm probably gonna need to reassign my output. Feeling bad for the people who bought an X32 the day before they announced the wing. Yeah, me too. If you had the money, because it's not the same price. But if you were struggling maybe with an M32 wing, we're kind of in the same ballpark. If you needed stage box anyway, yeah. Like, turn it back, send it back, pay the fee and get the wing. That's what I would do. Okay. Let me recall the show that I need to work on. And if the sound just drop out, hold on, I'll be back. Oh, it was working right away. It was working. It's just that my the USB reset, and I don't have a mastering chain on that master. I'm gonna make it master 2. Main 2 left and right. And I don't want any EQ. But I want a compressor on that mix. This is the mix that I send to this is what I send to broadcast, if there ever such a thing. And a limiter. Let's gain way more output. Hey. Well, I'll put to 0 and I can just crank the gain until we reach out pretty much 0 dB. Everything else should be... Oh. It's not on. Sorry. No, it is. Now I'm back. Okay, so here's the show. Here's the show that I need to work on. I feel like there's a little bit of distortion. Is it me? Is it just me? Maybe. But I don't see any clipping. Oh yeah, I do. Limiter would just... Yep. Okay, let's go, man. Okay, so here's my show. I can probably show you this. This is my screen. I can probably zoom you in. A little better. That way you can at least see what I'm doing on the screen. This is all the input that I've set up before. I did a live stream with that band and I didn't change much. So I'm probably going to start with that tomorrow because I'm bringing the wing and the X32 core. X32 core with my DL251 will be used for in-ear split. And sorry guys, I still feel like it sounds like crap in my ear. Auto gain's not gonna help me for sure. Whatever. Okay. So I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna just do a quick overlook at everything. I got my my tap delay effect ready. I just need to figure out what I did on that show because it's been almost a year since I've mixed that band. We've been on the break for almost a full year. Well, more than a year for live show, but for just stream and everything, yeah, it's been a year. Okay, let's take a look. First, we got our kick drum, gate, whatever. I don't really care about the gate that I'm using. 160 on the kick, makes sense. EQ, maybe I'm just gonna flat that out. And the mic that I'm using is a Bayer Dynamic D150, D71. It's the plate, love it. Great microphone. Snare. I'm gonna reset the EQ because first I got a new drummer tomorrow. Well, it's over midnight, so it's today. New drummer and new microphone. I'm trying out the TG-I51 from Bayer. Great mic so far. I've tried it on the channel. I love it. Can't wait to try that on the snare tomorrow because we got no saxophone. So I know I'm gonna want a low cut for sure. Not a de-esser. Let's go with a drummer just for fun. Really low on the snare. 160, sure. That's always good. Hi-hat, not much happening there. Probably not gonna use it anyway. Tom, it's everything is Bayer dynamic. Before you ask, everything is Bayer. It's a D58, which is a condenser microphone. Really cool claw clip on it. I love it. Really good for floor tom, snare. It used to be what I use on the snare. Love it. I don't know why I've cut so much high-end in the toms. Maybe we were in the bad room and I didn't want to have them bleed over. Wow, what I did there. Some scoop in the tom I like, just for like they feel bigger when you scoop them around 300 to 500, something like that. That's good. Just gonna see what we have dynamic wise. Okay, the drummer. I went with the drummer on the floors. Gate, I'm gonna guess the wing gate. Great expander mode. I like them. And overheads. What do we have overhead and overview? Just a low cut, really high low cut. 550. Is it the maximum? No, it's 2K. So around there. Probably sounded good. We'll see tomorrow. Ride. Just a small bit of EQ there. Okay, that's fine. Bass. I can probably... Well, I want to start fresh, so I'm going to give that a flat out. I'm going to go to 45 just to say that I have a low cut on. What we have after that? I love this thing. The ethereal on the bass. I love this thing. I'm gonna start with no gain reduction. Well, no output gain reduction. Should be good. What else? Simon's guitar, my lead singer. Flat because we're using a helix. Everything out of the helix is just fine the way it is. We're using some IR, so that's good. Those are not stuck IR, but they're fine. My friend Vince guitar with the Poltec. I probably don't want that. I think I'm over that phase of using Poltec. Maybe some compression around minus 18 dB. Start with that. Keyboard. I don't want any EQ on my keyboard. What else we have? Drum pad, probably not going to use. Vocal. That seems like a lot. It was probably a really bad room. I don't remember. Maybe something like this. This dresser. Expander there. Good. Simon, lead singer. De-esser. That's definitely bad. Okay. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try the Neve. I had some really good time with the real one in the studio before, so I'm gonna try that. This dresser. I'm gonna start with that. Yep. My friend Vince, I'm gonna flat him out for tomorrow. My friend Gabriel, I probably put the same thing on everyone. Yeah. My friend, the drummer, who's not gonna be there tomorrow, so I can flat that out. That should be good. That's gonna be fine when he's gonna come back. Saxophone. It's not gonna be there tomorrow. That's probably right, EQ wise, because we're using a really old mic. Hey, Rolf. Nice to see you, man. It's 7 a.m. here. Good morning. Well, it's 1 o'clock. I need to prep that show for tomorrow. And I'm leaving. Actually, sound check is in 12 hours. Just doing a quick checkout here, and I'm gonna wrap things up and go to bed. Gas is not gonna use. That's my input 21, 22, and 23 are just backtrack, so no EQ on that. I'm gonna check the main out. I don't want any EQ on that for a starter, and I especially don't want any limiter. Oh, I was hearing with that with the limiter on. Okay, sounds way better now for me. Okay, I'm gonna restart that. Go to effect. I got this on my bass. I got drum verb, sax verb, vocal delay. That's a really good place to start. Do I want something else? Maybe I'm gonna try to add a couple things tomorrow. Maybe the monster sub on bass. But other than that, nope. I'm good with what I got. Okay. Library. Simon. Save. Confirm. That's about it. If I start with that, tomorrow the plan, gotta come back here. Oh no, I know. I lost my user keys. There you go. I'll try to not cover my face with the microphone. It's a good thing speaking to a camera. Plan for tomorrow is to sound check, monitor first. I'm rebuilding the show from pretty much the scratch. I need to check the compressor, EQ. I didn't reset the compressor. Okay, because I did some work on my in-ear monitor X32 core before come here and do some cable in the wing. But yeah, I'm gonna check everything tomorrow. Compressor, gate. I'm starting from scratch. Turned the gain down on my show file. I didn't touch those pretty much for a year. So I'm just restarting everything. Starting fresh after a year and a half without a show. And yeah, that's about it. I got everything ready. Just gonna need to pack that in the car. I'm gonna try to vlog it for you guys tomorrow. Actually, I'll get 2 vlog coming. One from June 23rd that I could not finish because I had to leave for vacation. Much needed. And after that, tomorrow, and I need to edit that stuff, so it's going to come out in a week or two. I covered pretty much what I wanted to do tonight, before the show. Time for me to go to bed. Actually, take a shower because it's so hot in here. Thank you very much, guys, to watch that stream live. Headwinds, who was with me, Ralph. Always a pleasure to have you around, man. And thank you for watching. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. If you made it this far, you subscribe. You're gonna like what I'm doing here. Give this video a like. Always helping me to tell the algorithm that I exist. And the most important thing for me is to ask you to please take care of yourself. And I see you guys Monday or on another random stream like this. Take care. See you.